The intro is that long so you can build up for the sparks. That's why it's that long. Plus, I need time to get everything ready. Because this week has been hectic. Plus, it's like a 3-hour stream. It's a 1-minute intro, minute and a half. Okay, so how's everyone doing tonight? I'm in lockdown now because that's what's going on. So I've been doing a lot of stuff around the house, getting the printer room ready for the move, which means I haven't actually been printing much this week. So this guy finally showed up. I was hoping it would be here last week, but we have ourselves here an ADXL 345 accelerometer. So we're going to be taking this and we're going to be strapping it to this, and it's going to do some auto tuning like T-Pain. And just like last week, we're doing it live. Although I do have some instructions here. Is that from Adafruit? No, this one, you can get, there is an Adafruit version, but it's like $35 or something stupid like that. This one, I paid the Amazon Premium to get it here this week. It was like 12 bucks Canadian. You can get these off AliExpress for like $3 or $4. So, should have grabbed an auto-tune app. I have done zero prep this week for the stream. I legit have like paint on me still from painting the other room. So I've been like, we went on our, the county I live in, went on code. We went to gray. We're going to gray on Monday, which is a full lockdown. But I'm essential, so I'm still working. But everything's just been a complete shit show this week. So, fortunately, I didn't have much prep work for the stream. Like, I legit just cleaned off this desk. The room's a mess because I've had to completely clear out another room so I can move everything out, so I can move this stuff in, so I can move everything into this room, yada, yada, yada. But we do have this right here. So we do have the full instructions on how to do this. We have little pinout cheat sheets and whatnot. So this is something that you only need one of. So if you plan on doing this to multiple printers, you can pretty much make up one of these and just strap it to each tool head, plug it into the Pi, run some code, and that should be it. You do need to be running the most up-to-date version of Clipper. So if you installed Clipper on your machine back in like 2018 and you haven't updated it since then, you are going to have to update it. But other than that, we should be good to go. I don't know what's going on with chat. Why it keeps popping up over and over and over and over again. Quit doing that. Let me see here if I can fix this quick. Or I'll just turn chat off. Yeah, I'm just going to turn that off. I don't know what's going on there. Hi, chat. There we go. I don't know why the on-screen chat's doing that. Try turning it back on, maybe? It wouldn't be a Neuro 3DP stream without technical issues. Okay, I think it's okay there. I don't know. If it does it again, I'll just turn it off. So anyways, to the instructions. Because we have instructions on how to do this. So, last week, if you watched the stream from last week, we did it the manual way, where we printed off a whole bunch of things to measure resonances. And, is it? For those that don't know, I had to redo it all because I tightened the belts back up. But that is... yeah, you can still see it there. So I never quite got it perfect. That ain't the right one. I know one of these is. I don't know. But anyways, I got it pretty good, but it never got great. Okay. Chat box is excited to see everyone. Yeah, it seems to be stalling out on YouTube. I don't know. I enabled it back on and still do it. So anyways, so we got it better, but we never got it to the point where it was great. But for, you know, your average home gamer on like a Prusa or a slow i3, it probably wouldn't be too bad. But this is a Voron. We go quicker than that. So this time, instead of having to print something, measure stuff, do math, we're just going to be strapping an accelerometer to it, telling it to do some code, and then it'll just spit out a value. So the first thing we're going to have to do is make up a wire loom for this guy. So what we're going to do is chat working. Chat is working. It's just, I don't know why it's not popping back up on the stream anymore. I don't know. I'm turning it off. Screw it. Yeah, the whole history. Turn off. Turn off. Turn off. There. I'll just turn it off. Screw it. If you watch it on YouTube later, you can just watch it on the sidebar. It takes YouTube like an hour to figure it out, but it will show the chat back on it. So anyways, we're going to have to do some soldering. So we're going to solder this on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make a wiring loom, because it's just temporary. This is just temporary wiring. You don't need to run it through your drag chains or anything. And we're going to put it onto an 8-pin connector so that you can reuse it on each printer. So you just got to plug it into the Pi, bolt it to your tool head, run the code, do all your tuning, and then you can take it off. So this way you can use one of these for all your printers. So I'm going to have to solder. Hopefully I have everything, because again, this room is a disaster just off camera right now. Oh, dude. Yeah, the chat's just excited to see you guys. Don't solder the pins all the way through. Try to make it flush. Okay. So for those that don't know, Eddie the engineer knows a heck of a lot about this more than me. So he's going to be my little, he's going to be the little wise owl who yells at me when I'm screwing stuff up. So let's see here. Can I push these through a little bit? Chat is not updated. So it might be Google is having a little aneurysm or something. See if I can do this. Trying to move these pins down. That's actually working quite well. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is to have it so that, oh man, this new camera is so much better for these close-ups. The pins don't stick through. So when I solder everything up, this back is still flat. Because that way you can bolt it right to your tool head with minimal issues. Space here of some sort. Maybe that'll work. Not too much. Or Sparky Sparks. No Sparky Sparks tonight, hopefully. I only have one of these, by the way. So if we do have Sparky Sparks, it's going to be a very short stream. So I'm hoping no Sparky Sparks tonight. Chat is Fubar. Chat is out of my hands. This is YouTube. So blame blame YouTube. actually. Let me turn the music on. There you go. I always forget to turn it on at the beginning of the stream. And there we go. It's slowing down the translate to Canadian. Now there, buddy. I don't know what you're talking about. So, you have it soldered up there. So this way we can bolt it right to the tool head. It's as flat as I can make it. So now we're gonna have to make a wiring loom. Fun times. Okay, so for the wiring loom, you can use, I'm using DuPont connectors because they're just easy. But what you're going to want is, now you can use whatever you have. You can use single pin connectors if you really want to. But on somebody's advice, I think it was Eddie, if you look at here, so you need 6 wires, right? You got your ground, your VCC, which is 3 volt basically, 3.3 volt, CS, STO, SDA, and SCL. So as you can see here, the way it's like described, you have these 2 pins going up here, and then you got 4 pins down here. Well, this is your, what, 3.3, and this is your ground. They also have one down here. So what you do is you wire it up like this. And this right here, you know, it's red. This is the pin out for the one I'm using. So this way you have 4 and then 2. So that way you can make a single 4x8 or 4x2 connector into one. So you can just go and plug it right in. So I think I have a 6 pin. Yep. Or no, I don't have an 8 pin. So I'll just make 2 3 pins. That'll work. So it'll be 2 3 pins into an 8 pin. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of fancy colors left for wires, so I'm going to be reusing wires. So for the loom, I'm going to make it longer than I probably need to. Did I tighten the belt from last week? Yes, I did. And barrel, yes, I am all right. I did tighten the belt. So they are tighter. So. Now you don't need fancy silicone wire for this. I think I'm just going to make like a standard size loom because I'm going to have to use this on Tallboy. So we're just going to eyeball it here and just cut some wires to a certain length and YOLO it. That long-ish. Yeah, I turned the chat overlay off. It was having a seizure. I use Streamlabs, and I don't pay for it, so I don't know what the heck's going on. I'm not super concerned. I don't know if the little notifications if somebody subscribes or anything pop up. So I did turn on YouTube memberships. So if anyone wants to join, I did set that up because people kept asking. So I have a Patreon now, and I do have YouTube memberships now. And anything, of course, goes right into the stream. Spent between paint and baseboards today. That was like $100. Side note, I hate working on a basement where I didn't do anything. Like the basement in this house was done by the previous owner. It's not done well. There's a lot of stuff in the walls I don't like. Or the fact that the walls aren't even straight. Did I print a mount for it? No, I'm just going to be bolting it to an existing screw on the tool head and just using a longer screw. The thought of the same look being used on the tall boy is quite nice. Yep. Because you can just reuse it. So we're just make it longer than you need to, because that way you can just keep it for any other printer. Let me actually catch up on chat. First time seeing it live due to time difference. Great channel, building Voron made easy. Awesome. Glad you can make it here tonight. Hope you're not up too late. PTF wire, E-wire harness, please. I would, but I don't have any PTF E-wire. I gotta get some for Toasty Boy though. How tall is Tall Boy? This tall. It's 390 on the Z for printing volume. Although technically I can go to 410 or 420. Nice. It's just the chains get crunched. Customer service room just so it's serviceable. Oh yeah. And the thing is, this house isn't from the 1860s. This house is from the 20 years ago, if that. Okay, I need one more color of wire. Please tell me I have one. Or am I all out of wire? Yeah, white. White'll do. I'm running so low on wire. Somebody was saying something about 3 volts. Let's see here. Did you verify that your board is 5 volt? Pin 1 on Raspberry is 3.3. These should be 3.3 volts. These should run at 3.3 volts, I believe. That's what I've been told, and that's what everyone's been using, so I'm sure if it's... If I feed 3.3 volts to something that's supposed to run on 5, nothing bad will happen. It'll just not work. Okay, so let's wire this up as per this pinout here. Wonky walls add character. No, you try painting a clean edge. I gave up after a while. So you won't see it on camera, but if you actually were in the room and looking at the paint, you'd be like, ugh. Okay, so we'll use brown for ground. But if you do want to see the room, I ended up going with London Gray. If you go to my Twitter at 3DPNero, I did put some pictures up of the room. Does this method require 2 pies? No, it does not. This is 1 pie. I thought originally you needed to use 2 pi, but I think they changed it, or it runs better now. Or people were trying to run it on pi zeros, maybe. I don't know. I just remember at one point people were saying you needed 2 pies to do this, and now apparently you don't. Okay. All I know is hopefully this works really good. And we have a nice, clean 2-hour stream. Or 3-hour stream, because I kind of want to go back to playing Cyberpunk, honestly. I hate DuPont connectors, by the way. You never get them to crimp right, even with an Engineer PA09. Where are my... There we go. Okay. You may want to start the Pi installing numpy. It takes a minute. It's the first command on the instructions. Okay. Let me boot the printer up then while I'm doing this. So we'll let that boot up. And then VCC, we'll use red for VCC. How is Cyberpunk? Reviews say it's buggy. I'm playing it on a computer. Other than some random glitches where, like, you know, Buddy phases through the ground or some other weird, you know, cosmetic, I would classify it, issue, the game's been running just fine. I've had one crash to desktop in 7 hours of playing. But it's a CD Projekt Red game. Like, for those that played Witcher 3 on release, it was the same thing. It was a glitchy mess. But I mean, people love Skyrim, and that game's glitchy. I was hoping to actually have this wired up, like at least have the loom made before the stream, but I ended up doing baseboards instead because that is so much more fun. Oh, and for those that don't know, the panel do, I have a video on my channel. I put it out Monday. The panel do works now with Clipper. So I have the panel 2 functioning with Clipper. So let's see here. Apparently I'm supposed to install numpy right away. So, install numpy. So, putty. iSwiss SN25 does a great job crimping DuPont. I'll keep that in mind. Amazing things going down on the stream. Yes, we are auto-tuning a printer once I go through the instructions. So basically, with this method, you can do input shaper just by slapping an accelerometer on any printer that's running Clipper. Some parts you get Z-banding, trying to print 2.4 parts. Some I don't. Mainly larger prints show, but I can't figure out why. Any thoughts? I'd have to know what printer in a little bit more detail. Takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll get that going right now. So install numpy. No. No, why do I have that money sign? No money sign. There you go. Okay. We'll let that do its thing. If price is not a thing, would you go Teflon or silicone wiring the cable chain? Go PTFE. Go with the PTFE wiring. If you can. The only reason these don't have it is because it's still, I think they finally have a vendor for it in Canada that's not stupidly overpriced. But if you're in the States, definitely get the PTFE wiring. I think there's now a vendor on Alley that carries it too. How come you have more than one Voron? Do you use them all? Yes, I use them all for streams where I build Vorons. That's honestly what most of the time they end up being for, is stuff. A lot of the Voron crew, the printers themselves are the hobby, and we just occasionally print stuff that's not printer parts on them. Redoing the wiring loom. So Eddie, are you like permanently installing the accelerometer, or are you still like making it a clip-on object? Okay, so we got ground, VCC, and CS. Why don't you want to plug in all the way? Come on. There we go. And now we need SDO, SDA, and SCL. Yes, PTFE is the recommended right now. Like for new builds, if you're going new build, go PTFE wiring. It holds up in the drag chains longer. Silicone's good wiring. The problem is the actual casing on the silicone wire, the silicone, is it's very soft. And for example, like I use China chains, so my drag chains are from China. The injection molding on them isn't exactly the smoothest. And what'll happen is you'll get like, they'll just rub and eventually it'll wear through it. Not permanent. I had to wire down the boat until the last rebuild. Okay. What kind of mount are you using for the accelerometer? No, it won't stay on permanently. And what I'm essentially going to do is I'm just going to take one of the screws out on the tool head and just use a longer screw and just screw it to the tool head. Has anyone played around with the Hall effect filament width sensors? I have not. And I that looks like something that would be massive overkill. It probably, I don't know if it, because you're trying to measure like 0.001 millimeters essentially consistently. Now, also, the way I'm wiring this up, I'm wiring this to the Pi. I think you can also wire this to like if for some reason you don't want to wire it to the Pi each time, I think you can wire this to a Arduino Nano and then plug that into your Raspberry Pi over USB. And this, you can function it that way too. I think, I'm not 100% sure on that. I think you can. Any benefit to using the accelerometer? It allows you to do the input shaper tuning much more accurately. If you watched the stream last week, we pretty much, you have to do a test print, and then you basically have to measure the ripples in the print, and if you're not bang on accurate, you don't get great results, and you're constantly tuning. This, it literally just spits out a graph and goes, your frequency is this, and then you're done. Okay, so those are that. So there's that. Of course, I already got all my wires mixed up. So let me just write this down so I don't accidentally screw it up. The PTFE, well, in terms of stiffness, like, let me pull it up here. It should be online. Like, if you're worried about stiffness in the drag chains, on Tallboy here, I actually have the, it's not connecting. It's been on for a while. Let me reboot it quick. On Tallboy here, I actually have my silicone wires inside of a braided cable sleeve inside the drag chains. and that is definitely stiff, and you get these massive loops to it, but it holds up just fine. Where was the accelerometer source? I got mine off Amazon. You need that ADXL345. How do you find the right belt tension? It's simple. It's not too tight and it's not too loose. I'm sorry, there's a belt tension if I go what I think feels right with it. I don't go super scientific with it. If your frequency is too low though, so if you get results that are like 20 hertz for your input or for your accelerometer measurements, your belts are probably too loose. So I guess you can use the accelerometer to tune your belts. So ground is brown, VCC is red, CS is blue. I'm just writing this down so I don't accidentally forget it. SDO is green, SDA is yellow, and SCL is white. Now you could use the same color for all these wires if you want to. I just don't want to mix them up. But yeah, here. I hate Octoprint for all these updates. Okay. So yeah, if you wanted to know, like you can see how loopy those drag chains are. That's because that's silicone wiring inside of the drag chain. So that's kind of like just how I did it to prevent them from rubbing. On V226 here, I just slathered the hell out of all the wires with PTFE grease. And so far it's working just fine. Okay, so now we gotta do this all again for the 8 part. We are still installing Numpy right away. So Numpy takes a while to install. So we need to do brown first. So what you do for the Octoprint updates is you go and update your printer to run either Fluid or Mainsail and completely abandon Octoprint altogether. That's what I would do. Said the V1 Super Hottie. Toasty Boy is his name. Will be next, but will we ever do another Switchwire video? I can do another. I'm probably going to do another video on Switchwire, another stream at some point, playing with dual extrusion. I need to play around with dual extrusion on it more. But I don't know if I'll do a full build on it. Simply for the fact that I don't want to take it apart to rebuild it right now. Because it honestly is such a simple build. There really isn't much to it. Like, it is legit a super simple build. Okay. That one goes there. And now I need SDA, which is yellow. Okay, and next is SDO, which is green. Yep. Way too enthusiastic when I said slather instead of what? Slather thing with grease. Hey, I did slather it with grease. I got the rubber gloves on and went to town with it. But the wires aren't fraying anymore. I can live with that. Remember, don't forget to sign up for my Only Benchies for hot behind the scenes action. And if you're not in on the joke, go to onlybenchies.com. It's a website now. Well, sort of. And then SCL, which is white. Switch wire frame swap should be easy. For the most part, as long as it's like still a 2020 3030 style frame. I know, like, if you're trying to convert an Ender 3 or a CR10 or something like those ones into a switch wire, there is some parts that do need some changing, and I believe people are working on that already. So like, I'm pretty sure people have already, I've seen some where people are converting CR10s into a switch wire. And I'm like, you know what, that probably handles, a CR10 is probably would be better as a switch wire than a CR10. Probably handles the size better, at least, I think. I don't know. I've never actually got my hands on any Creality printer to compare it against. Okay, so SCL goes there at the bottom. Buy an Ender 3 Pro, convert it to switchwire using Grizzle mods, and stream the whole process. Maybe after I get Toasty Boy done. We'll see. I did have a Banggood affiliate, like a contact, and that's how I got like the dragon, the high flow dragon. But then she went on vacation, or she quit or whatever, and she told me to message a new guy about getting stuff from Banggood. And I did, and my email was blocked instantly. So I don't know what happened there. Apparently, I didn't sell enough high flow dragons or something. I don't know. I really don't care. But I was hoping Banggood would send me an Ender 3 specifically to faff about with. But alas, no Ender 3. And at this point, like, I already have 5 printers, and I'm looking at building number 6. I don't even know why I need 6 printers. Okay, so now this is, which one is this? Blue is CS. So CS goes right across from SCL, which is white, so that goes there. Hopefully we don't blow up a Raspberry Pi. I really don't want to blow up my Raspberry Pi. What's so bad about Octoprint compared to the alternatives? So the thing with Octoprint is kind of the way it's been around for a while, and there's a lot of legacy code in it. So it is kind of bloated. So if you're looking for something that just runs a printer, it's kind of overkill. Well, not overkill. It's just, it uses more power than it should to do what it's doing. And then also, if I'm not mistaken, the way the plugins work with it, it basically has to read every line of G code and like go through it as it's running, which can cause like issues with like slowing down essentially. I don't know. I've been running Fluid, and all my printers now run Fluid or Mainsail. Since I got this guy up to run Clipper now. Oh, no, I almost screwed up there. Don't plug the ground into the VCC. There we go. Okay, and then ground goes across from SDA. Fluid and Mainsail run fine on a Pi Zero, right? Yes. Right now I have two printers running on Pi Zeros. So I have V0 and Bonsai. Both of them are running. Bonsai is running Fluid. V0 is running Mainsail. They both run fine. Now, if you try to run a webcam on them, that is a little bit of a push. It can do it, but you have to run it like really low frame rate and like 480p. Simply for the MPEG encoder is just, it eats up a lot of resources. But just running Mainsail or Fluid by itself under printing load on a Core XY, it's like, I think I don't even hit 20% load usage. I should have sleeved all these first. Oh well. I got a good question. I blew up the thermistor port on my SKR Mini when brushing off my heater block with copper brush. What is a good heater cartridge to use with my Dragon? I use, I think, Physek 50 watts. Or no, they're Triangle Lab 50 watt heater cartridges. That's what that's my go-to. What is Fluid? Fluid is basically an alternative to Mainsail. At this point, they're pretty much the same, except for the UI. Let's see. I don't. Okay, here. 26 is online. This is Fluid. So if you like this layout more than Mainsail, go with Fluid. If you like Mainsail's layout more, go with Mainsail. But they're essentially they're both functionally the same. Got too much stuff on my desk. So if all goes well, probably not this stream, but either this stream or the next stream will actually be the last streams in this room. I'm hoping to be able to start moving everything into the new room this week or next. Well, I'll start this week for sure. Don't know if I'll have enough time to move everything. But hopefully, should have the new setup soon. Is there a standard thermistor for the Dragon? No, the Dragon uses pretty much the it's E3D V6 standard. So same with nozzles and heater cartridges. They all use this. Anything that'll work for a V6 will work for a Dragon or a Mosquito or anything like that. What kind of startup sequence do you use to get your temps ready and stable? I just turn the bed to temperature and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes and then do the bed leveling routine and then print. So nothing super complicated. I seen the tweet about the color of the room. Should paint it super black so you don't have to worry about no lighting to make it look nicer. Well, Parker Gray, I already painted the room. It is London Road, which is a gray. It's a darkish gray. Not super dark, but it's dark, and I went with a flat paint. So, I got pictures of it on my Twitter. At 3DP Nero. So follow me there. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you should subscribe to the channel. If you would like to support the channel and my endeavors, I do have a Patreon now, as well as YouTube memberships. I actually posted a video to the Patreon today. Members only. It's a 2-year-old video, but it's funny. And you can find me at onlybenchies.com. Links below. Actually, I don't think I have a link to Only Benchies below, but it just leads back to my YouTube page. And somehow we have 116 people watching me wrap cables. I know, I'll get to the fun stuff soon, don't worry, hopefully. And I'm pretty sure YouTube is completely like choking when it comes to chat right now, because it is not updating. Oh, there it goes. Just bought Chinese NN brand MGN 9H rails and carriages blocks from Amazon. Where do you source your MGN 9H's original Highwind? Okay, so don't bother with Highwind. Yes, Highwinds are empirically better than Chaiwin rails, and by Chaiwin I mean Highwind sourced from China, because they're not really Highwinds. I use CNA. So if you go on AliExpress, CNA, all my printers that use linear rails use CNA rails. I've had one bad rail in like the 30 that I bought from them, and it was an extra one that I bought just in case. So I still have it somewhere. I might tune it up one day, but I don't really need it. Another good source is LDO. They're a good source, and I think Robot Dig, but don't get Robot Dig black rails. Get their stainless, I think it is. Okay, that's good enough. I made this a lot longer than I needed to, but whatever. Do I recommend fluid or mainsail? Flip a coin. I have them both on my machines. I run machines with both of them, and they both function exactly what I need them for. Right at this point, it's really personal preference. Okay. That's gonna bug me. Or a cable wrap. I'm waiting for Numpy to install anyway, so I can't really do much anyways. Is it done yet? Almost. The joys of waiting on software updates. Why not the black Robot Dig rails? Apparently, they have issues where they break. If yours haven't broken yet, you should be okay. But I think a lot of people got them already broken. Something with the hardening or whatever. Yes, LDO. Unfortunately, I've yet to get my hands on anything LDO-wise. That will be changing in the future, by the way. I've been in cahoots with them. chatting some people up about stuff. But we finally have a vendor for him in Canada. But from what I've heard, LDO is like great. Like they changed motor designs or something with one of the motors changed, and people who bought the previous version, they just, here, we're sending you the new ones. Just take them. So good customer service is amazing. Especially in 3D printing when you have stuff like what Creality pulls. Buy your printer through Kickstarter. That way when it fails, we can't do anything. Does the robot dig stainless steel's rails good? They do good, apparently. I haven't used them. I've heard they're better than the black ones. So, I think it's the rail core guys recommend them. I'm not 100% certain there. An Voron user talking to LDO, who would have thought? It's funny. Everyone makes money off Voron except for the guys on the Voron team. Other than like me running this YouTube channel and donations, or like the guys making the pittance on printed forwards, which at most is beer money. Like the only people making money on Vorons is not Voron people. Yeah, the chat's being funky. Like, I don't know what's going on. This is on YouTube's end. Like, I'm watching it be all funky, too. Like, I hope nobody's donated or anything, because I haven't seen anything pop up. Unless nobody's donated. But if you have donated and it hasn't popped up, thank you. But I didn't see anything. Okay. And my wires aren't perfect, but whatever. Good enough. Okay, cut this, and then I gotta plug it into the printer. Okay, so we got our accelerometer on this end. All these wonderful extra wires. And then we got the part that plugs into the Pi on this end. So, let's take a looky-loo here. Okay, so that is done. So I'm pretty sure I can just turn it off. So yeah, so note that depending on the performance of the CPU, it may take a lot of time, up to 10 to 20 minutes. Be patient and wait for the completion to install. So that's all done there. The installation may fail if your hard has too little RAM. So I wouldn't probably, it might, so this is probably where it comes from. You need more than one Pi if you're trying to run this on a Pi Zero. Okay, wow, chat just went update. Okay. Money is nice, but I just like seeing people build cool stuff. Pretty much here. Like anyone who donates to the channel, it pretty much, I put it right back into the channel. When I build my V0, I might make it into a full-time PIF machine since I have an issue regarding power draw and filament. Should get paid for. What I would recommend, Beryl, and this is one of the reasons I kind of want to do Toasty Boy, is to show off how... Oh, Carlos has become a member. Welcome, Carlos. You are member number 1, I believe, actually. So, congratulations. What is it? Eddie, if you talk to him, he super enclosed his V1. And I think he did it to his V2 too. And he, I think it's down to like 100 watt power usage at full printing ABS. Because the printer is so enclosed, it's not having to run the bed as much to keep it at temperature. So by super enclosing your printer and going crazy with enclosing it, not only are you able to get higher temperatures, you actually use less power because once it's at temperature, you're not losing the heat. So your heater doesn't need to run as much. So he's down to like 100 watts, I think, with it all enclosed and whatnot. If I get first layer squish more on the sides of the plate than in the middle, what do you recommend? 2-month-old cold plate, rolled plate, and CNA rail. What I would recommend is double checking, run a bed mesh, and make sure your bed hasn't tacoed or anything. Sometimes you might have a dip in the bed. You might need to run a minor bed mesh. that can happen. There's a lot of tolerance stacking once you start adding glue and magnets and flex plates and PEI sheets and all kinds of stuff. So what do you think about bird air cooling? Do you think it's worth it? I've never had an issue on any of my printers with adequate cooling. Now, granted, I mostly print ABS, so I don't run a lot of cooling. But I have seen the setup, and I think it can be useful. But I don't know how much more useful over a good fan setup. Is it possible to set the accelerometer on Linux? I want to set up Clipper on my Linux server with Octoprint. I believe if you, I'm not 100% certain. Here, I'll link. That is a guide there for what I'm following right now. But if you can run Octoprint or Mainsail or whatever on whatever Linux, I think you can run this on Linux. Now, personally, I would run it on what's hooked up to the printer all the time. So I would use a Raspberry Pi, for example. I'm not a huge fan of having a separate computer hooked up to the printer just for redundancy's sake, like it's more power draw and whatnot. I was more meaning that I have no issue with power draw. If it has 600, I don't care. It's to pay a fixed power bill. Oh, got a ton of mining hardware and servers running. Okay, then yeah, you're not too worried there. I also got my energetic double set of PI. Hope it's decent. Mine's been fine so far. George Moody, congrats on the channel 6. Thank you, man. We are coming up on 5,000 subscribers, by the way, which blows me away. I think I'm like within 20 or 25. Okay, I gotta turn the printer off now. Turn the printer off. Yeah, that completely blows me away that I'm like near 5,000 now. Raymond, welcome. Yeah, and I think the tiers are like Benchy, Torture Test, and like Full Plate ABS or something like that. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the way like Patreon and YouTube do it. I understand why they do it, but I have to set a certain minimum amount. I wish I was able to just put like whatever you guys want to give or donate to the channel. But they're like, no, you have to put fixed amounts, but it is what it is. Okay, so I got to plug this in now. So let me see here. So, shoot, where did I put it? Okay, so I'm going to take that picture there that Eddie just sent me. And then that goes there. Okay. So for mounting this guy, I wonder if RT kernel will be better application like Clipper. I like Clipper runs just fine on a Raspberry Pi Zero with like Mainsail or Fluid. So throwing more power at it, I don't think would, I don't know, solve much. You're right. Energetic texture is garbage. You know what? Can I've started using the textured side with ABS and it's been fine. But with PLA, it was absolutely garbage. Someone has never delved into Octoprint Clipper. Do you think it's a good idea to use one server to control a lot of machines in VM containers? That's the setup. Honestly, I would use one per machine. Like all my machines each have a Raspberry Pi. Now you don't need a powerful, like a 3B will do it just fine, or a Pi Zero if you don't need webcams. So you can run Pi Zeros on all of them as long as you don't need webcams. If you do need webcams, I would go up to a 3B minimum or a 3A even. But I don't know about like multiple containers off one powerful computer. I haven't touched into that at all. That's completely outside of my scope of knowledge at this time and whatever. Turn the printer off, yanks cable. I did not yank the cable. I flipped the switch, then yanked the cable. Yeah, YouTube chat is being funky. Yes, it is. Oh my God. Okay, Parker Gray, welcome. And I don't know if the updates are popping up on here. I'm not hearing the notifications, so I don't know what the heck's going on today. PLA is all right, but KVP ABS warps unless my chamber is like 45C. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. It's funky with the plate. Like, honestly, right now I have the textured size up, but I also have a spare plate that I'm going to just put a sheet of energetic PI on and use that. Okay, so I got to plug this in now. So I got to have that like that. I wish they actually labeled these properly. So let's see here. So let me check on a pinout. And by the way, that's how I'm going to mount it, like that. So I need to put it on pin 17. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? 1, 2, 9. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. Wait. Or am I measuring from the wrong side? No, I'm measuring from the right side. No, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Really best investment is getting decent board if you haven't a cheap one yet. Why are you hooking a stepper to a Pi? I'm not hooking a stepper to a Pi. I'm hooking an accelerometer to a Pi so that we could put the accelerometer on the tool head, run a test movement program, get results in terms of the frequency that the tool head moves at, and use that to run input shaper, which would allow us to hit stuff like 7 to 10,000 acceleration and automatically tune the printer so we don't have ringing. All automatically. So, oh, Brian B, super chat, $6.99. Being dispatched by the wife. Hopefully we'll be back to catch the rest of the stream. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for enjoying the stream. My tag for Halo. Thank you for becoming a member. I'm trying to catch all these. Oh, Raymond did too. Welcome, Raymond, I think. How does it tune your acceleration? Using input shaper with clipper. So let me double check here. I really want to make sure I don't accidentally short anything. Yeah, okay, so that should be good there. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Yep. Okay, so we're good there. Now this is just temporary, so you don't need to really like zip tie it in or anything. Actually, let's move up the tool head. Oh, probably plug it in too. Okay, it's on widescreen, so if you get sparks, don't forget to clip it. Hey, no sparks. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. Oop, okay. Grant, that I had to approve that. Be careful with your language. But yes, it is really cool. It would be sweet, like long term. Like this is one of those things. This is what's new in 3D printing. Okay, so printers won't get any faster because you really can't push plastic any faster than we're already pushing it for the most part. Okay, so stuff like this is the future of 3D printing, where like, oh, I guess it would help if I honed all the accesses. So now your printer can tune itself. So you know, hey guys, why does my benchy look like ass or whatever post that you see on R3D printing that somehow get upvoted to the front all the time. that should be gone in the future, because now you can literally just strap one of these to your print head, run a few lines of code, and your printer's tuned. Done. Okay. So I'm going to mount you there. So to do that, I'm actually going to turn off the printer again. And you're going to go right there. So, Nirq, thank you for joining. Side note, I am like losing all my Allen keys. I used to be so good with not losing Allen keys, and I have lost like 4 in the past like week. So for mounting, by the way, we are mounting it right there. So this is the afterburner tool head. So I'm taking this screw out and I'm putting a longer screw in there, essentially. So that is a 30 mil. So I think a 40 mil will do. Unless I'm out of 40 mils. Of course I'm out of 40 mils. God damn it. 35 maybe? Nope. Nope. Ah, shoot. Now I got it stuck in there. Uh-oh. Wasn't 40 mil the size of screw that I'm low on? I think 40 mil is the size of screw I'm out of. The pile of screws I haven't sorted through and put away yet. No. No. Uh-oh. Maybe over here. No. Oh, no, no. M8, I don't need an M8. Where do I have 40 mil screws? I could use 50. No, 50 is way too long. Do I have a hacksaw in here? God dang it. I can't believe I'm about to do this. Spent 120 on my Allen key sets. What is the Tecton Allen keys? I like traditional cheap Allen keys because I lose them. Okay, guys. Today I'm going to show you how to how to cut down a screw. I need a 40 mil, and I don't have any 40 mils. So to cut down a screw, you're going to need 50 is too long. It sticks out way too far. And if it sticks out on the other side, it's actually going to drive itself. You know what? No. Because if it sticks out, I can't use longer eddy because it'll push into the magnet that I use for the Hall effect sensor and push that out. I got a hacksaw here. I'll make a 50 or 40 mil. Plus, I can teach you guys how to properly cut down a screw, because there is actually a proper way to do this. Okay. So for those that don't know, to properly cut down a screw, you need 2 nuts along with the screw. So what you do is right at the top of that nut right there, that's 40 mil. Okay, so this is a 50 mil screw scale. Okay, so that's 40. And then what you do is you second nut here, you tighten it up against this nut so that they're locked in. And then you hacksaw it. Then when you pull the nuts off, that cleans the thread up. So now the thread is good and the cut should be good too. So put in my bats here. A really crappy hacksaw. Yeah, I don't have screwdrivers though. There we go. So, screw is cut down. Focus. Go to the lathes, use straight cut carbide, 100 grit sandpaper, and if I was at work, maybe. I am not at work. I don't have a lathe on hand, unfortunately. Yet. So that nut is destroyed. But yeah, if I was at work, I would just use a cutoff wheel and just there we go, 40 mil screw. Okay. So that goes like that. That goes in there. Now, for the English. For the accelerometer to work, you want it to be as square to the axis as possible, okay? So what that means is the X, like it's a rectangle, okay? You want it to be as squared up to your axes as travel as possible. So if you have it like on an angle or cocked, it won't be as accurate because it literally measures on XYZ axes. So you want the X to be X, not on an angle. So basically just eyeball it the best you can and tighten it down. And that's it. Okay. Don't tighten it down too much, crack the PCB, obviously. So I will have this just kind of hang there, I guess. Turn the printer back on. Very cool. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Terrence sent me. Oh yes, Terrence. I did see that. If you text me in the afternoon, I'm usually, or if you guys try to ping me on Discord in the afternoon, I'm usually at work. So I might see it and then forget to reply because I get home at like 1 a.m. But I'll message you back after the stream if I remember, hopefully. But basically, I should be okay. I think I have options now. What is the smallest and most expensive piece that you ever said, was it really worth it? In terms of dropping money on useless things, I would say I bought a nice X-Acto knife or acrylic cutter to cut the acrylic panels for Tallboy, and I broke it right away. And then I used my my generic X-Acto knife and it worked just fine. Jim Seller, sharing the love, keep up the awesome work. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Okay. So we're obviously not going to be printing with this hanging here. People have run this up the, like run it up your Bowden tube. But I think just having it flopping in the wind should be fine for what we're doing here. Okay, let's actually do this now. We've been here for an hour and all I've done is wire up a cable. Ruby nozzle in terms of 3D printing stuff. Yes, Ruby nozzle, waste of time. Okay, so mounting. So the accelerometer must be attached to the tool head. One needs to design a proper mount. YOLO, just screw it into where there's a hole. To better align with the accelerometer with printer axis. So you don't need to line it up exactly to what it says on it. Because if you look on it, there's like a little picture that shows an X and a Y, and I'm assuming there's a Z. You don't need to make it exactly X, Y, Z. So in my case right now, I have my Y is right, but my X is up and down, and my Z is my X. But as long as your X, Y, Z, that little imaginary shape, is actually true to the axes in whatever way, just mount it, okay? So we've installed numpy. So numpy is installed. So we'll close that session. Open back up putty. Honestly, if you want a Gucci nozzle, if you're not printing anything that's abrasive, just get yourself a bog standard copper plated nozzle from Triangle Labs. It'll work perfect for everything that isn't abrasive. If you want to print abrasive stuff, then yeah, look at like Nozzle X or the vanadium nozzle, or just buy cheap steel nozzles and throw them out as you go through them. Okay, so sudo install Python. Oh shoot. Did I forget to run that? Okay, run that part. What? Okay, so I did run numpy. So numpy is installed. So why aren't you finding this? Oh, I gotta delete the money sign. There we go. I don't know why there's a money sign there. That smart effector mount. Yeah, well, the picture is just a picture. Yeah, because you can see it's kind of on an angle there. But smart effector, isn't the it always kind of moves? I don't know. I don't have a Delta, so. But yeah, we don't have a Delta. We're not doing this on a Delta, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, do I want to continue? Yes. I don't need to type yes. I just need to hit Y. My productivity has gone up 33%. Or 66%. I'm pretty sure that's a Homer quote, if I'm not mistaken. Look at it do stuff. Okay, I probably should have did this earlier. Oh, no, maybe it's going a little bit quicker. Come on, 9%. This is so much fun. Hello, Ryan. How are you doing tonight? The Y is capital. You can just hit enter. Wow. It's even more efficient. Be running a nuclear power plant in no time from home. What are we at right now? 106 viewers, 43 likes. Come on, guys. Hit that like button. Got to get those dopamine points for the internet recognition. Yeah. Pretty sure 95% of Pi related issues. That is pretty much true, Brian. I unfortunately am like completely like green when it comes to a lot of software stuff. Like, I can follow instructions, but the moment something that it's supposed to work doesn't work, it's somebody please help me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm more on the hardware side of things. Hit a snag. Too many SPI devices. Oh. Okay, why am I seeing new member? Okay. Oh, is it just repeating? Okay, it keeps repeating that new people are joining. Okay, whatever. YouTube's being really weird today with updates on chat and memberships. Apparently, like, NearQ has become a member like 4 times. I appreciate it, but I don't think you've really done that. To be fair, that stuff is my job and I still get it wrong. Okay, what are we at? 93%. Brian, the chat's kind of weird. It seems to like take a bunch. It's not instant. It's like buffering. So I'll get like 5-6 new chats at exactly the same time. And then it's like like on the top, you know, at the top banner where it says like the most recent donations and whatnot, it keeps sending the same thing over and over. Like it said Jim's donated like 3 times already on my screen. Which, knowing Jim, that might be true, but who knows. Okay, so that's done. So we've done that, we're done that. Okay. Add the following to the printer config file. Okay, printer config. Edit. So actually right now I'm going to turn off all this input shaper stuff because it's advised to start with 1 probe point in the middle of the bed, slightly above it. Okay, so we're slightly above it. Okay, so in the middle of the bed, slightly above it. So I will have so 125, 125. All right, save and close. And restart. Okay, so it's advised to start with 1 probe point in the middle of the bed, slightly above it. Okay. So on boot up, now we can run accelerometer query. You should see the current measurements from the accelerometer, including free fall acceleration. Techromancer, welcome to the club. Thank you for joining. Oh, okay. See, okay, now my chat's going crazy. Okay, is there a way to make Clipper work with standard Raspberry Pi screen? I think so. I'm asking the Clipper section of the War on Discord or on the Clipper Discord, but I don't go there. It works fine with the panel do. Got that working. Is there good setups for multi-material on Clipper? Basically anything. Clipper will, like, all the stuff that's multi-material on other things, so Y splitters, MMU, that stuff is supported by Clipper currently. Got to get the Pi MCU installed. Can we have a moment of silence for the people currently burning hours of their life trying to make Marlin work? I'm sorry, but I'm never going back to having to compile my firmware anytime I have to do any update to anything. Like, being able to just edit, save, reload, done is, oh my god. Got a quick electronics question. Are the screw terminals on screw-in connectors live? If I were to touch 230 volt, would I die? Don't touch 230 volt. Yes, there you go. Kia as an installer for Clipper screen, if you want to go use their standalone thing. Okay, back to... here we go. Okay, oop. Why aren't we connecting anymore? Printer is not ready. Why are we getting not ready? Oh, I gotta enable SPI config. Interface options. There we go. Finish. Okay. Add the following to the printer config. I need to install the RPI MCU. I have it installed. It's serial right there, right? What am I missing here, Eddie? What am I missing? Of course, YouTube's being a butt, so now I gotta wait for everything to update before I can. Camera works though. What am I missing here, Eddie? I need to install the RPI. Wait, do I need to actually? No, I can't. I can't flash flip. Wait, I don't understand. I need to install the RPI. It's right there. Serial TMP Clipper Host MCU. What are we looking at here? We enabled the Raspberry under SPI. That. Let me try a reboot. Maybe I gotta reboot it. Yeah, I'm trying to restart. Arthur's with 10 CHFs, whatever a CHF is. Check out Hevort. Or yes, I've taken a look at the Hevorts. There we go. And as for the music, it is Stream Beats Lo-Fi Mix. So on Spotify, search Stream Beats by Harris Heller. He does a bunch of soundtracks. This is the lo-fi, but there's EDM and a bunch of other genres. But they're specifically music for streaming, so you don't get DMCA'd and taken down. So that's what we're listening to right now. It's right above the config section. Yeah, so I did do the Raspberry 5 Swiss francs. Okay, Swiss francs. That's SF. What's the CH part? Does not compute. Check DMs. Okay. There we go. Okay. So why use RPI as a secondary MCU? Once the MCU is install a script. If you want to use the host as a secondary MCU, the Clipper DOS. Okay, so I got to run this. So let me reconnect here. So this has to be done so that Clipper, I guess, can talk to the Pi that it's running on or something. I have looked at the Hevort stuff. I have looked into it. I don't think it's really my thing, but I have looked at the Hevort stuff. So CD Clipper, copy. Sudo script, See, at least that's a good thing for a lot of this stuff is you don't really need to know what you're doing. As long as you can copy paste code, it works. Until you run into an issue and then you bug Eddie. Okay. Make menu config. So install for Linux process. Okay, Linux process. Okay. And then escape, save, yes. And sudo service clipper stop. Can you not run the input shaper? I believe you can do it plugged into like an Arduino Nano. I believe. As long as the pinouts match. But all my printers have a Raspberry Pi, so I'm just going to do it on a Raspberry Pi. I will say this is more fun than painting. CH is the abbreviation for Switzerland. For what reason? Hell if I know. I guess that makes sense. Okay. So CH Switzerland, Helvetica. Franks. So 2 Microsoft Office fonts and then Frank. Okay, makes total sense. I need to make a custom board for this. That would be cool that you can just, if you just had a board. There's the previous one around make flash. Okay, so that's done there. Sudo user mod that. Okay, so I think we're done there. Are we done there? I think we're done there, Eddie. Let me try firmware restart. Printer is not ready. No. Optional remaining configuration. Complete the installation by configuring. Yeah, so we do have the edit. CS pin none. Okay, I think we're okay there. Done for that section. Okay, so now I can go back. Restart. Try restarting everything. Yeah, I probably got to restart everything because it's all... Okay, restart everything again. Marlin errors are cryptic. I just want to get this. That's one thing with, at least with Clipper, like we did the stream where I did a full configuration from scratch for the most part for this guy because I'm running a duet with an expander board and all kinds of funky non-standard stuff. And if your config is wrong, it just tells you, hey, this is wrong, fix it. And you can just go through and just fix the errors as they pop up and it works just fine. Okay, so the fan's turned off, so I think we're okay there. There we go. Okay. And we're live. That's that. On focus camera. Oh, there we go. So much better. Okay. So, where were we at? Restart. Okay, so now I can do accelerometer query. And it should give us something. Okay, so we have values. Okay, so it's talking to the accelerometer. Okay, so I didn't screw up the wiring, I don't think. Oh, okay, maybe try to say car. Okay. And then try running measure axis noise and octoprint. Octoprint fluid here. You should get some baseline numbers from the noise accelerometer of the axis. Should be somewhere in the range of 1 to 100. Note that this feature will not be available if numpy package is not installed, which we did install it. So okay, so we got values. I don't know what those values mean, but we got something. So in this position, X and Z are swapped. Yes, so X and Z are swapped. Okay, measuring the resonance. Now you can run some real tests. In printer config, replace the following values. So printer max excel to decel, which I think I already have it in here. Printer max excel. Okay, so that's already there. So 7,000. Okay. After you're done with the measurement, revert these values to their old or newly. Okay, so after this, we can go back to normal. Also, if you have enabled input shaper already, you'll have to disable it prior to the test with as follows. So we add this guy here. So we disable input shaper. Okay. And now we run test resonances axis X. So I first got a home. Okay, so let me home all. Let me grab a zip tie. There we go. Totally professional. Look how good that looks. I lost my camera though. Oh yeah, that's right. I have crappy Wi-Fi. Reload, damn it. There we go. Okay. So, where were we? So test resonance axis XX. Go! Okay, that's really cool. You can hear it like revving up. Now the thing is though, oh wait, no, okay. So I can't touch it. I shouldn't touch it because I'm assuming if I touch it, I'll throw it off. Here, 1 second. Yeah, you can hear it. It's like brrr. It's revving up. That's pretty cool. So I guess it just keeps doing this until, and then it spits out a chart, and that's your thing. Okay. So X accelerometer stats, wait for calculations. Okay. It's doing math. That's good. Math is good. Wait for calculations. Wait for calculations. So now it's doing math. Okay, so it's written that. Okay, now we go and do the y-axis. Okay. So paste that. And it does it again. So now it's going back and forth. Yeah, it's charging up its laser. Oh wow, you can really hear it now. Like you can see the camera vibrating. Oh, we're definitely getting more vibrations on the y-axis, that's for sure. Which is really weird because you can't even see it move now. Does cable have any impact on the resonance? Honestly, it's probably like when you jump, you slow down the planet's rotation technically, but it's so small you probably don't, it probably won't impact it. I wouldn't have it like strapped to anything super tight, but it's just flopping in the breeze right now. My bench is bolted to the wall and I can feel it vibrating. Which is going to suck to have to move to the other room, by the way. Okay, so y-axis is done. Now we wait for calculations. I know I'm gonna have to go back and watch the stream just to hear that, just to see how the mic picked it up, because I'm running gain on the mic, so it's gonna be louder over the mic because I don't have no fancy lavalier mic. I think my mouse is dying. Okay, so resonance data written to that. Okay, so this will generate 2 files. Note that the command above requires numpy to be installed. If you haven't installed it, you can pass output raw data argument to the blah blah blah. One can run standalone Raspberry Pi. So, okay, so I guess I just run. Be sure to observe the printer for the first time. Make sure the vibrations become too violent. I would love to see one of these shake themselves apart doing this. Okay, so note that okay, so I've already done that. So I guess I run this right here. Or copy the data to the host. So I guess I run that right there then. Okay. Oh, I should probably gotta reconnect. Buddy. just run the 2 commands. Okay, so there we go. Okay. No such file directory. No such file directory. Okay, so that didn't work. Okay, do I got to run the output raw data? Okay, or do I wait? Attention, be sure to. Yeah, I tried running this and then it just didn't work. Why did it? Okay, now I need the money sign. Okay, maybe. Yeah, command not found. Yeah, because if I try to run it with the money sign, it says command not found. But if I try to run it without the money sign, it says IO error. You think the files are elsewhere? Where is it? Temp residence is Y. Okay, so they're right there. Check the TMP folder. Okay, so that's what is it? WinSCP. Sure. Where's the TMP folder at? Clippy? TMP? I can never remember where the temp folder's at. Run ls, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I'll listen to Jared. See, this is what I mean by once I don't know what to copy. Once the copy and paste don't work, I'm lost. What do you mean ls command not found? Ah. Ah, okay. Oh, there they are. Okay, so there they are. Okay, so I just need to see these. How do I see these? The files are named wrong in the command. Ooh. So then how do I see these files? The command is wrong. It saved to TMP residence as Y. Oh, specify the correct name of the file path. Oh, okay, I see. If I do that. Where's the X? CSV. I am so confused right now. I just need to see the chart. So it's saved. Shouldn't I be able to just go into here and find it somehow? Where's TMP? Like, shouldn't it be in here somewhere? I have to autofill. Oh. Let's see here. So TMP residences X underscore 202.01213 underscore 02.024.141 dot CSV. Yeah. Not found. It's in TMP. Okay, where is TMP? I copy paste commands. Put in the wrong part of the command. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Okay, so 1 second here. Okay, so if I put that, okay, superscript. Okay, so, okay, I see where the star is. Okay, god dang it. Sorry, guys. Okay, there we go. 202.01213 underscore 024141 dot CSV. Okay, there we go. Boom. Push the button. File not found. God damn it. It's right there. It's right there. Don't type it all out. Okay, wait. Part where it says temp raw data replaced with the residence file. BB slash. Okay, let me get out of there. Okay, so let me find the command. Okay, so that. And then tab. Okay, I'm pressing tab and nothing is happening. So I know it's not raw data. I know it's not raw. Its residence is X. I have no clue what the fuck. You said, okay, you sent it to me in DM. Okay, there we go. Delete all that. Screw it. Delete. Oh yeah, I can't just type delete. Delete. Okay, let me pull up Discord. There we go. Okay. Good old Eddie. Run. Cannot string to float freak. What does the not string to float freak mean? Somebody remote desktop into him. Well, that command he just gave me, and it wasn't working. Still a star in the name? What, I can't... Yeah, but isn't that symbol right there, isn't that for like, hey, just whatever? Still need the correct file name. Okay, so the correct file name would be residences X. Okay, so I gotta put in all the numbers. Okay, whatever. 202.01213 underscore 024141 dot SCV. Cool. Whatever. Do your thing. Cannot convert string freak. Try removing the S. What S? I can't remove the S. How do I get back? Oh, yeah. That sucks. Yeah, it's residences. It is residences with the S. CD slash. Yeah. I don't know. Come here. Well, this converts it to a PNG. Okay, let me exit the freaking terminal here. Very good. I mean, too many arguments. This. Control C. CD clipper graph, because this. How the hell can I just win SCP in and just like, where is this file saved on the Pi? Where is it? I just want to find this thing. Can it? Isn't it just in here? Okay, keep going up. All the way up. There's TMP. Okay, there's TMP. Hey, there it is. Hey. Hey, look, we got numbers. Okay, now what the hell does all this mean? Okay, so if I have the raw data. Okay, there we go. Yeah, but the thing is, though, yes, it's the raw data, but the script is supposed to turn the raw data into a PNG so we can look at it and we get this fancy, this. We're trying to generate this right here. Just open in Excel. I don't have Excel. Excel. I don't have Excel. Microsoft's going to be like, hey, do you want to buy Excel? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy Excel. Let me try the script again. Put raw data, sure, whatever. Yeah, I gotta put it here. Output raw data. Sure, whatever. Okay. Run standalone scripts on the Raspberry Pi. Okay, and then you're supposed to run this script. Okay. So I put the script in there, and it's not CSV blah, 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 blah. So... copy. Paste. Paste. Slash. Residence is Y, blah, 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 PNG. Enter. Cannot convert to float. Here. Okay, so I'm gonna download these files and then download. Sure. Download. Sure. Okay. Try with -R. Can I convert to freak? Put them on Discord, yeah. Here, I'll put them on. Here, I'll send them to Eddie. Here you go, Eddie. Open, upload. There you go. Oh my god, I've got like a million pings from people. Okay, I'll check the Discord messages after. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on here. This ain't right. This ain't right. Yes, I installed Numpy. I installed Numpy right at the beginning of the stream. Google Docs. Google Docs? Let's see. Can we do... Why does this have Ender stuff here and no Mergon stuff? I don't know. Sheets. Okay, how do I upload to Google Docs? File, open. Upload. Select from my device. Documents. Residence is Y. Okay. Now, how do I graph this? It's been a long time since I've done one of these classes. Oh, okay. There we go. So instead of me doing work, Eddie did all my work. Okay. So let me close out all this extra stuff here. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. There we go. Okay. So there's our frequencies. Yay. So for some reason it just wasn't generating it. Okay. Let me catch up on chat here because I'm sure you guys have been talking. Raw data output, but it was oh, strip the first line off the data and it will work. Okay, so it looks like the way it saved everything was kind of funky. Sure, whatever, no bad. So this part, oh, okay. So if I were to delete that and resave it and then run the script again, it would be fine. Okay. Let's see. So looks like we got it solved. So we got our results there. So for X, Jean, the command was right. It's just for some reason it generated that extra header at the top that kind of threw everything off, because when it runs the script, it's just looking at numbers, and when it sees that random header, it goes, what the heck is this? Okay, so it'll generate a CSV file showing the spectral density of the vibrations on the frequency. Usually the charts generated from these CSV files are relatively easy to read, with the peaks corresponding with the resonance frequencies. The chart above shows the frequency for x-axis at approximately 50 hertz, 56, 63, 80 hertz, and 104 hertz, with a cross reference for y-axis at 56 hertz. From this, we can derive that a good input shaper in this case would be 2 hump EI. Sure. Oh, because it's got 2 humps. Okay. At 45 hertz. Sure. Oh, this is looking at this one right here. Okay. So, according to this, on my x-axis, which is actually my z, because of the way the accelerometer is, so basically whatever axis decides to spike up into infinity like we have here, that is the axis. So it looks like we got a... what is that? Like 60, 65, and 80 something? Sure. And then our y-axis, which is correct, is like 45, 40, 45. It looks like. So yeah. 63.91. How did you get those that accurate? Like, it's just a chart that I only have. Okay. Oh, approximately 63, approximately 91. That first line issue. Oh, eyeballs. Yeah, Mark 1 eyeballs. So, now besides so basically you can look at that chart, see where the highest spike is, and that's your value for input shaper, and you go to town with it. So here it would be, 63, and on the, was it the y-axis? You have, or yeah, so you would just put 63 for your x, and then for my y, it would be, whatever that is, 45, and you would just input it, and there's your value. But I'm trying to see here. I think that's right, by the way. Yeah, I know the chat's really screwed up tonight. I don't know what's going on with YouTube chat. It's like really laggy. I don't know what the heck's going on there. It likes to like spool up like 10 messages at once. So besides manually choosing the appropriate parameters for input shaper, it's possible to run an experimental auto tuning for the input shaper in order to attempt to measure the resonance frequencies and automatically determine the best input. Run shaper calibrate. This will test all frequencies 5 hertz to 120 hertz and generate the CSV output for the frequency response and the suggested input shapers. You also get the suggested frequencies for each input shaper, as well as which input shaper is recommended on the setup. So basically, you can, instead of doing this, what we're doing, you could just run this command and then just accept what it tells you, and that's your tune. So I think we'll give that a shot. And then, of course, I would just have to flip my Z and my Y at that point, I think. I'm just waiting on a response from Eddie here to tell me if this is right or wrong. Yeah, 4 a.m. here. Yeah, sorry about the command line stuff. That's, sometimes it's like that. Now let's try the shaper calibrate command, see how it works out. Trying to plot them with my pi. Oh, you're trying to plot them. Okay, you're having the same issues I am? Okay. So, but basically, Eddie, at this point, I can just look at this and go, okay, this is... So it has 2 hump. on the X. I don't know what 2 hump means. And then on the Y, it's obviously the big one here. Yeah, so at this point I could pretty much just put in these values and that's pretty much it, right? I believe. Dashboard, printers, pretty big, edit. What else we got here? Yeah, we're at the part of the stream where we're all trying to figure out what the heck's going on here. Yeah, because I could pretty much just put in at this point, right? So if you only have like 2 spikes, right? Or 1 spike, you can just put in whatever it came out to. So on here, it's like what? So 60, so that's 70 right there. So if that's 70, that's like 63. And I could just put like my Y 63. Or is that X? X 63. And then my Y, that's 50. It's 25. What is that? Like 45? And that would be that. And then save, and then you're done, I think, at that point. But this got the 2 peaks. It's also, I'm getting a frequency at about 90. Yeah, 63 and 50. I want to get, yeah. Yeah, so, and that would be it. And that's input shaper. Because there's different types of input shapers too. MZV is the base one, is the most common one. Usually most people just go with MZV. Yeah, so that's it. That's input shaper tuning, is you basically, it'll spit out the chart. Hopefully the chart works. I don't know why the chart's not working. Save and close. Restart. And that's it. And we're done. So at this point I could run a print. I think I have that. What time is it now? 10:15. I still have the, which one is it? The ringing tower, not the, or the, yeah, the ringing tower. I could do the ringing tower and just see how it handles. Yeah, so it might be an issue right now. I'm also running fluid, so there might be something going on there. But we have it tuned at this point, so now let's run a 7,000 acceleration print and see how it handles. So let me turn the printer off, pull the accelerometer off of it, and we'll try a print and see how it looks. Yeah, I don't know why the because that script. So the issue we ran into is everything was working fine. You run those little things, and then it generates basically a text file with all the data points. And then you're supposed to run a script that converts that script into an image so that you can look at the image and go, hey, these are, the points that I should be tuning my input shaper for, because these are, the spikes in vibrations essentially. And then the input shaper handles it from there. Input shaper is ZV at 149 hertz. How'd you get 149 hertz? Like nothing even came close to 149 hertz. Oh, let's heat this guy up. Of course, refresh. Bed at 105 Celsius. Maybe we should make some accelerometer connected to an old nozzle. Make it universal, then it would be easier to adapt to new printers. It's the nozzles are what, 7 mil or 6 mil, I believe, for the threading on them. That wouldn't be a bad idea, because then you could just, screw it in underneath. The thing is, you got to make sure, because the printer has to home before you can run this. So, unlike a boron, where your nozzle has to ping off a thing, you don't really want that. You don't want that smashing into a micro switch or something right now. Let me button it up. We were printing some ABS. The reflections. Nope. Well, I just broke that. Awesome. Okay, chat just got really slow. I don't know if everyone just got quiet all of a sudden, or if it's YouTube's really bungled with chat tonight. Camera 2. Hey, look, it's... If I put a light over top, that should... reflection. Good enough. Broken chat is broken. Yeah, chat's really broken tonight. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It's just being really buggy tonight. So we're just waiting for the bed to heat up. And then we are going to print another one of these acceleration doodad guys. Because right now you can see all these ringing, right? Okay, the lighting that I have set up now, you can really see it. So I think this one was after a tune. So you can see it's much better. But on some of them, you can see the ringing there. That one isn't too bad. I think this was the last one I did from the previous one. So. YouTube streaming awards. What's the stream? Oh, there. So what? YouTube's doing something else, and because of that, everything else is borked. Although I will say, if Arthur, just be careful. Your credit card might have been charged like 50 times, simply for the fact that that one keeps refreshing at the top saying that it was just donated. So maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe next year I'll get a streamy. Want to try one more thing. Test resonances raw. Okay, so yeah. I already unplugged the... Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So, yeah, I already unplugged the accelerometer. So let's see here. Putty. Raspberry. Oh no, you guys know my default password for a Raspberry Pi is Pi Raspberry. Okay, let's see here. Test residence is not found. So that, no bueno. Oh well. It is what it is. I don't know why it's not working. Whatever. Okay, bed's warm enough. Screw it. Ringing tower, right? It's ringing tower. Print. Good old reflections. This is the downside of recording. Oh, run that in the printer. Oh. Probably too late now. Oh well. Well, we'll see how it works in the test print. So. Once it gets fired up, I'm going to go get a drinky drink. So let's see here. Let's see here. So while that's firing up, do the test print. Okay. Yeah, I'll try things after stream or off. Probably not after stream, but I gotta go play Cyberpunk. Post to Twitter. If... Yeah, I'll post a picture of it once they get it sorted out. Like once this print is done, I'll show it on stream, but I'll also post a picture of it on Twitter. And then I don't know. I just don't know. That's really weird that that did that. Yeah, probe that bed. Yeah, Aaron, YouTube's chat's been buggy all day. But while that's doing its start there, so right now, this is what I've been doing all day. So this is the spare bedroom that's actually on the other side of the wall right there. And it's where this setup is going to be moving to, hopefully, in the next week or two. So it'll probably still be this kind of camera angle where the camera is in front of to the right. Because I like this where I'm, you know, the standard, hey, well, I'm in front of a bench. Everyone does it, and it actually takes up a crap ton of room. So I like this setup here. So we'll probably keep this setup, but the camera probably just a little bit more forward. But the current plan is to have the camera kind of in this wall here, which would mean it's like right here where the closet is. Have the bench for like working on stuff be here. And then this back wall here will just be a long bench with all the printers on it. And then I'll put some shelves up here with like prints on it and whatnot. You're not going to ever see out this window, and then storage on this side. So it should be a little bit better and cleaner than what we currently have. But we shall see. I got a baby step up. Baby step up, up, up. Oh, I think I have something under the bed. Shoot. There we go. Any thoughts and prayers to your guests who need to use the spare bedroom? So this will be the spare bedroom. Both of them were originally spare bedrooms. But this had the least amount of stuff originally, so I kind of started moving stuff in here before, and I never got around to moving stuff Like everything's been added onto and added onto and added onto. So that's why it's kind of, the arrangement ain't great right now. Simply for the fact that it wasn't thought out from the beginning to be set up for this. Like right now, the camera is literally right up against the wall, and I have a bright light right here next to it. So that's why like my face gets all blown out and everything. And like you can't really see much, and it's really tight and whatnot. So oh, you guys probably want to watch that. So this was sliced with Cura, I believe. So Cura does a thing where it ramps up to max speed above a certain height, so it doesn't jump to the top speed after the first layer. Using a kind of connector on the bed for the heater pad, or do you wire it directly to the SSR? On this one, I'm using a Molex connector that's rated for 5 amps. I don't know the exact model. I got it from work. On the other printer, on Tallboy, I think I have butts connectors, or bullet connectors they're called. So they're just bullet connectors. You can use any connector as long as it's rated for the amperage. Luckily with mains voltage, you're only pushing like 2 to 5 amps. Video quality is pretty good. The new camera did positive. Yes, the one thing I really like about the new camera is it actually can handle, you know, when I hold a print up to it, and you can actually, you know, it focuses on the print, and you can actually see what it looks like instead of it just being a blob of colors. The audio quality should have been the same for the past while. The only thing I'm doing now with the audio is I do have a noise filter on it. And then I think the background music in conjunction with the noise filter makes it a little bit more bearable. Because you're not picking up all the random stuff in the background, and there's not as much dead air. Yeah, I'm really liking the camera. Also, the other reason I got the camera, hopefully, who bloody knows at this point, but Midwest Rep Fest. Recommended is 2-hump EI at 69.3 hertz. Is that for X or Y, or is that a combined thing? Because I don't know. Like right now it's MZV, so we're running MZV, and yeah. People are following me. Yes, cool. Twitter updates. Oh, that's for X. Okay. Okay, Jared, if this doesn't come out good, I'll change to that value, and then I'll run it again tonight. So let me punch up a notepad here and save that. And then, so what I'll do is, if this print looks good, I'm just going to leave it as is. And if the print, you know, has some ringing issues, I'll put these values in that you gave me, and I'll run it again, and then I'll check it in the morning. Yes. So Murph, the only downside with Murph is I'm in Canada, and right now, like, I can't cross the border. So Murph is only like where they are. They're only like a 3 or 4 hour drive from me. It's actually not that bad of a drive. But there's an international border and a global pandemic, and technically I live in a hot zone right now. So it was I didn't go, but today was an 1.5 hour wait to get into Costco if you wanted to go into Costco. Okay, printer is printing things. I'll be back. I'm gonna go get a burr. I'll be back. Huh. Oh, there we go. Audio died for a minute there. So tonight, again, we got some Alexander Geese Indian Pale Ale. Francisco, $5. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream tonight. Now we just coast to the end. Max torque for a dragon nozzle. I use the same. Nozzle torque. I use the same torque that I use for dragon or for a mosquito. And I think they recommend 1.5 Newton meters. Yeah, 1.5 Newton meters is what they recommend. So if you use 1.5 Newton meters, they'll be fine. Yeah, I use one of these printed ones, printed in ABS at 1.5 Newton meters. So here, people in chat, there are 102 people. Why did nobody write something? Because they're just enthralled with the printer printing. That's why they're blown away. What cable chains am I using? I am using generic China chains. Nothing fancy, unfortunately. Do you run a scrubber bucket or are your steps in startup for consistent first layer? I don't run a like a scrubber or anything. Normally, when I finish a print, I retract, like my ending print script has a retract on it that pulls enough filament out of the nozzle that usually there's not a lot of ooze on startup. I think I canceled the last print, so it didn't do that. It had a bit of ooze. It actually threw off my first layer a bit. I had to baby step up. But usually it's not an issue. Oh, Eddie, so reference for the input shaper recommended values. There are input shaping parameters that are more aggressive than others. The recommended parameters will always be the most aggressive. Okay. That's not always good. I generally stick with MZV as a safer option. It's not too aggressive. Okay. So remember, this is something that if you're not bang on, it still leads to an increase in quality in prints. And again, we're printing at 7,000 acceleration. So if you can go from it being ringy as hell to barely any rings at 7,000 and then print fine at 4,000, you're still printing at 4,000 acceleration. So yeah, watch the printer print, listen to some tunes, have a drink. Trying to figure out how I can get rid of reflections. Can't really do anything though, I don't think. Actually, maybe that'll work. Nope. Oh well. What thermistor and heater cartridge do I use? I use just generic. The heater cartridges that I'm using now are Triangle Labs, and the thermistors are Physek, I believe. I bought a giant pack of them like 2 years ago. I actually need to reorder. I'm running low. If I use a wrench like that on an E3D V6 clone, is it going to be enough? I use this for torquing all my nozzles on all my printers, and I haven't had any oozing issues since I made this like 2 years ago. So got to sleep. We'll watch the rest soon. Thanks and have a good evening. Sleep well, man. The rest of the stream is just going to be chatting and watching this print, so. Yeah, I think March is pushing it too much for Murph. Like, if it was like October, I'd be, yeah, let's go. But I think the border's still going to be closed. Option. I've been in contact with some people. I should be okay for a bit, plastic wise. You're not the first one to reach out to me. So I'm hopefully going to be getting my hands on some KVP soon through a generous donation, so I should be okay. But thanks though. Oh god. So let me turn this down. So for those that are in Canada, Home Hardware, somebody asked me what color paint I use to paint the room on Twitter, and I'm just like, oh, I use Beauty Tone London Road as the color of the paint. Home Hardware liked that tweet, apparently. Like, Home Hardware liked my tweet. I'm famous. I see 3D ABS. Stinks like rubber tire, but strong. I haven't tried that stuff. Is any, like, I'm in Canada, so like some stuff you just can't get up here, and some stuff that we get up here you can't get anywhere else. It's, let me take a look here. Shit chat plus music and Warren running, pretty much. But yeah, in and out. Okay, take care, man. So impressive to see ABS that fast. This ain't that fast. It's only 100 millimeters a second at 7,000 acceleration. Made in Ohio. Nice. Let's see, 1 kilogram of black ABS. 34 bucks. That ain't horrible. Oh, 34 US. I'm getting eSud ABS Plus when it's in stock, about 25 bucks a kilogram. So Rex Sullivan, the reason why polycarbonate is not recommended is you have to take into account most people can barely print ABS, so we're not going to recommend something that's even harder to print than ABS. ABS works plenty well. It's easier to print than some of the other fancier plastics. It tends to be a bit cheaper than some of the other fancier plastics, and the printers function just fine in ABS. So we just recommend ABS because it's, you know, a Voron in full peak would be awesome, but we're not going to go recommend that because it'd be stupid to do. So anyways, also with polycarbonate, you have to be careful with a lot of the bearings. If the oils from the bearing and the grease get into the polycarbonate, it can actually degrade it. So with running linear rails and whatnot, you have to be careful with polycarbonate around oils and greases. So I'm hoping to get, I'm trying to find out if anyone has any good recommendations for CF nylon in Canada. I'm going to be trying to get my hands on some of that because I want to play with that stuff for Toasty Boy. Full peak, you'd literally be cheaper doing a full machine build. It would be because people are doing that and it isn't that expensive. Or getting it machined in China isn't that expensive, really. But yeah, it's cost and ease of printing. Like ABS isn't that hard to print as long as you have a printer that can reach the temperatures and you enclose it. Like remember, I probably threw it out. The test print I did on the Bonsai, that little hunk of junk i3 that I built with scrap parts, that thing, throw a cardboard box on it, it gets to 40 Celsius and it prints ABS just fine on it. So, any plans for Toasty Boy so far? It's going to be a V1, 250 by 250 by 200 Z. So I'm going to cut the Z down. It's going to be the stock frame, but cut down, and basically it's just going to be insulated to all hell. Probably going to extend the back all the way up to the top so that the rear motors are behind a wall. Basically try to limit the volume that needs to be heated as much as possible to try and bump the temps up. Eddie's been getting his pretty stupid hot inside just from the bed heater. So not peak temperatures, but enough for pretty much everything else. Yes, Jared, it's been like that all night. I thought this was going to be about making the printer sound like T-Pain. Yeah. 3D Printing Canada has nylon at $50 a kilogram. Let's take the looky-loo. Because I have nylon on the way. Matter Hackers sent me some filaments to play around with. Which if you are looking for anything from Matter Hackers, use the affiliate link below. I do get a kickback from that. But anyways, filament. But that's just regular nylon. I'm looking for some CF nylon because I want really stiff nylon. No, I don't see any carbon fiber. Whoa. A full Mark Forge Voron. I'm not doing a Mark Forge Voron. Yeah, they did send me a spool of nylon X, I think, but it's just regular nylon. It's not CF nylon. Because the problem is, like, okay, I can get CF ABS, I can get CF PLA, which, and CF PETG, who, I think eSun do a CF nylon. They do, it's like $50 a kilogram. I'm tempted. I might grab that because I think filaments.ca had it. Or Digimakers. Let's see here. Carbon fiber. Nylon. Nylon. Not nylon, nylon. There we go. Yeah, like this is what I was looking at. So we got eSun, CF, nylon basically. $60 for a kilogram. So that's what I was looking at. Oh, I missed one. Brian B, 699, just trying to bribe YouTube to get chat working normal for me here. If that's what it takes. Pro Series carbon fiber nylon made by Matter Hackers. $5. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, I'm gonna try and see if they'll send me some, but so far I don't think anyone's bought anything through the affiliate link, so I don't think they'll keep giving me stuff. Usually that's not how it works. Be careful with CF laden filaments. The CF might get into your lungs. Nasty. I work around a lot of stuff that if it gets into my lungs would be nasty, so I'm pretty good at taking precautions. Oh, now it pops up on the screen, super chat. The thing is, like, I see the super chat pop up on my screen, so I respond to it, and then it pops up on the screen down here, and then it shows up on your screen. So there's like delays twice. I'm not seeing ringing, or maybe a little bit of ringing. We'll see. We are 36% into the print with, I don't know, like 40 minutes left. I don't know how I have 100 viewers right now. Hi everyone, how are y'all doing tonight? If you're paying attention, press 1 in chat. If you're a robot, press 2. I will make a great pet when the robots take over. I like Google. Alexa, you are my friend. And then YouTube's gonna lag out and it's gonna get bombarded with 1s and 2s in like 2 minutes. Yeah, all the robots. Walker 3 does not exist. Okay, see, now everyone's paying attention to chat. Dr. Ronnie, I haven't seen you before. Hello, welcome to the stream. How am I exist? How is Bobby formed? But yeah, for those that don't know, the torque wrench is kind of cool. It's got these little spokes in it, and that's what makes torque. I can't hold it. I want to do that. I can't get that out. But yeah, that's how it works. It just, the torque of those spokes against some nubbins, that's how these work. And it works good enough. Where do you get your eSun ABS Plus in Canada from? Digimakers usually. And when they come in stock, I usually grab a case of it. Because it doesn't really go bad. So just buy it in bulk. Need to sleep but can't. Oh. You can't start Cyberpunk because it's not syncing your files. Ooh, that sucks. I've been playing for 7 hours and I'm tempted to start over already. Like I started off, I played like normally like games like Cyberpunk, Mass Effect, like games where you can play it different ways. At least like the play style and combat. I usually make like I do a playthrough where I just do the main missions and I just go through it being dude with gun. Just to get through it quick, get the story. That way I can like, I don't get like anything spoiled for me or anything. So I don't blast through the game, but I focus on the main story and just get through it quick. And then I'll go through and play it again on like, hey, let's play, you know, a hacker, stealth person, take my time with the side missions and whatnot to take. And that at that point too, if I can look up online and not get spoiled by anything for like tips and whatnot. So, but I'm already tempted because my guy with gun is kind of like, I kind of want to play maybe a corpo with, you know, stealth and the mantis arms and stuff. And it's like, maybe I'll start over. I don't know. Tempted to bump up the speed by 2. So how high up are we? Let's see here. So Z is 23. And this is a how tall print? 60. So right now, because this print is just a standard print, right? It's not printing with different accelerations per tier. It's just straight 7000 Excel. So what I'm going to do is it's printing 100 millimeters a second right now with 7K Excel. Once it hits the 30 millimeters, because right now we are sitting at 23.5 millimeters of height. Once it hits 30, which is half, I'm going to double the speed. So I'm going to set the speed to 200% and just let that go. Because YOLO. And now I wait 2 minutes for everyone to respond to that. Holy hell, YouTube's being horrible tonight. Oh, wait. You want to watch the printer. Okay, there's the chat update. Should I buy some 24 all-wheel gauge? American wire gauge, Teflon wire, or Cyberpunk 2077? They cost about the same. Buy both. I'll be up for Ottawa, or I'll be in Ottawa for Christmas. New Year's, let me know if you need some filament smuggled in. I'm 9 hours away from Ottawa, so it's still a bit of a hop, skip, and a jump. I can't say for the main story, but some choices you make will definitely affect the outcome of some mission. Oh, I know that. I fully expect, like, you know, some of the way I played through the intro, but like I play normally when I play through two of the first time I play the goody two shoes, and you know what? I think I want to play a corpo who's just like a stuck-up son of a bitch, because it'll be more fun. Because going through where it's like, oh, here's your money, oh, I'm a totally nice guy. Yeah, I got bored real quick. If the price was the same, would you choose Duet over SKR, and why? Depends on the Duet. A Duet 2 is still good hardware. However, TMC 22R9s are newer drivers. You do get more hookups for like CNC fans and thermistors, I believe, on a Duet board, but it's going to run louder because there's 2660s and spread cycle only. Personally, I think Duet, if you already have one, is good to have, but I wouldn't go buy one in this day and age unless you were specifically looking for rep firmware, which I think SKRs can run now anyways, and you're going to be running Clipper anyways. So plans for Accelerometer built into printhead. Dasboot, it's kind of not needed because you only need to do it once. Like, I've already unplugged it Like, it's done in this printer. I don't need it anymore. So I can throw this in another printer and do it there. Corpo is fun to play. Yeah, Raymond, I think I'm going to start a new character and try Corpo. Good night, Arthur. Yeah, on a Voron, just run Clipper. Like, I have 4 Vorons. They all run Clipper and they all have different controller boards, but the firmware is the same. So all trial and, like, you know, any issues that I have can be troubleshooted pretty much the same way. So, like, this one's running a Duet. Tallboy is running a Taco Raven. V0 is running a SKR Mini E3 V2, and Switchwire is running a SKR V1.3. As for Toasty Boy, I don't know what I'm going to put in it. I think I want to try an E3 Turbo, probably. Although I might see if somebody just has an old Duet they want to get rid of for cheap and just throw that in there. Because honestly, I run all my printers in spread cycle mode anyways, so Stealth Chop is kind of useless for me. I like torque. Okay, 28.5 millimeters. So we're coming up on the point where I'm going to double the speed. E3 Turbo is a nice board. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the E3 Turbo has a built-in support for a PT100, which is, I'm going to need that for Toasty Boy because it's, you know, Toasty Boy. Jay, yes, chat is broken. Basically, it's buffering. So basically, say what you want and then wait a minute, and then it'll all show up at once. But I may want the S6 from Physek for reasons, like the PT100 stick. Well, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure the E3 Turbo supports a PT100 right off the bat. Like, if I'm not mistaken. Scare E3 Turbo. So let's take a look here. So we got the E3 Turbo. So we got integrated 2209s, which I like integrated for heat dissipation regions. So we got maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Thermistors. I could have sworn it said it supported a PT100. NTC 100K. Let me take a look here. I'm pretty sure they tweeted about it. Has anyone got a direct drive working on a V0 yet? Potentially. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. Can sensorless homing be disabled on the E3 Turbo? Yes. You don't need to run sensorless homing. You just plug it in an end stop, and then just set it up in your Clipper config that, hey, use the end stop. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of sensorless homing. I know a lot of people on switch wires are running sensorless on the Y. That's fine there, but Core XY, you can't really run sensorless homing because it just does, it gets funky when you have two motors operating at the same time with the sensorless homing. It just doesn't work quite right. So. Oh shit, 32 millimeters. Okay, I overshot it. Ready? Speed, 200%. There we go. There we go. What is turbo on an SKR 1.4 turbo compared to the SKR 1.3? So there's the SKR 1.4 and then there's the SKR 1.4 turbo. The difference on the turbo there is it's just the MCU is faster, but in Clipper that means absolutely nothing, so there's no point in getting it. The E3 turbo is its own thing. So the E3 turbo is basically an SKR mini E3, but bigger. So it has 5 drivers now, extra hookups, extra, it takes 2 heater cartridges it could, or 2 hot ends it could run basically. So yeah. Well, stock speed's 100 millimeters a second, and I told it to go twice as fast. So yeah, 200 millimeters a second, 7K Excel. And Terrence, it's a GIF, so it's automatically animated. I'm surprised OBS actually supports GIFs. That actually kind of surprised me. Gotta go fast. So it looks like I still have some ringing in the Y-axis. Oh, you know what? I don't think I actually re-enabled Input Shaper. Oh, I would have re-enabled it. Did I reboot after... Did I reboot after putting in my Input Shaper values? Like restart Clipper? Yeah, I think I did because I put it in and then I turned it off to pull the accelerometer. So I should have the Input Shaper values in here. So we should be okay, right? Yeah, it's gotta be right. Anyways, whatever. Oh no, we're having some curling with the ABS. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saved it. Yeah, I must have. Oh, and for those that are curious how, this is how Panel Do looks like running Clipper. So that's, you know, Panel Do for Clipper. It's basically the same. Really not much different. Half-hour delay. Apparently YouTube had a stream news or something tonight. I don't know. A lot of people are streaming. I don't know. Somehow I have 100 people watching. Hi guys. I thank you all for watching. Oh, we only got like 18 minutes left. Yeah, I wonder if my Switchwire LDO group buy stuff will be waiting on my doorstep when I get home. Hopefully. Gotta build that printer sometime. Rex Solomon. So Input Shaper has been around for a bit now. I don't want to say a year, but I think it's gotta be close to that. But basically being able to just slap an accelerometer on your printer, let it do its thing, look at a chart, and then just input some values to get some pretty dang good results. Now it's not perfect, obviously, but like just looking at the picture here on stream, like what you can see, this is 200 millimeters a second ABS at 7,000 acceleration. You know, it's not going to win the Benchy of the Year award, but for, you know, just pumping out structural components that just need to work, that's great. I probably should bump the heat up a little bit though. Let me bump the heat up a little bit. Like certain things you still are going to have to tune like by hand. Pressure advance is something you're just going to have to look at, make a judgment call on your pressure advance. Input shaper is kind of nice because you can throw a $5 accelerometer on it and measure everything. Hooray for Nintendo and the Wii, making dirt cheap accelerometers common. But yeah. Easy peasy. And now you can plug this on any printer you have running Clipper or the Raspberry Pi. Plug it in, run the routine. Hopefully, you know, the script to generate the PNG works. I don't know why it wasn't. And then you just input those values and boom, your prints will just be better. And you can run higher accelerations, you can go faster, or just better quality prints at lower accelerations. The more I watch videos about Core XY printers, the more I want to build one. You should build one. They are nice as long as you don't want to go super big. If you want to stay under 350 millimeters on your XY, Core XYs are great. Beyond that, you start limiting Core XY from what it is. Core XY is meant to be light and fast. The moment you start going really big, it starts getting heavier, your belts get longer, you're not able to do what Core XY is meant to do. This is not Tallboy, no. This is a this is V226. This is 250 millimeters. So XY is 250. Well, with the bed probe in, it's 245 by 250. And then the Z is 230. Which on a stock build it's 240, but mine's a little different, so it's 230. And then if you guys are curious, there's the overhead view. Yeah, another Boron Live. Yeah, there's nothing really big in the pipeline at the moment. I think after Switchwire and like with the pandemic and everything kind of, everyone's doing kind of their own thing. Will the accelerometer or any other parts to add this capability be included in the BOM? Probably not. This is just something you can do yourself. And as for other parts, it's wires and DuPont connectors. Like, in what is it, ADXL345. Go on Amazon or AliExpress, buy one of these. That's all it is. Other than redacted. No, actually, legit, it's pretty quiet right now. Like, you gotta remember, earlier this year there was 4 releases. There was an update to V2, an update to V1, V0, and then Switchwire. So, Baker Viking, hello. You're late. You just watch a printer print fast for a couple more minutes. Terrence, yes, there is a mosquito. This one is running a mosquito, so there is a, this is a mosquito in here. It's starting to delaminate a bit. No, they're not delaminated. The little blob you're seeing right there, that is on the inner triangle part of where it does the little inner part. That is the start-stop position for the layers, it looks like, because that one's all gummied up, and the one on the other side is fine. I'll show you later. But it's not delaminated, it doesn't look like. I did bump the speeds up. And I may need to, I'm probably going to have to redo my pressure advance now too, now that I've done input shaper. With input shaper, you should be tuning it with, you should redo your pressure advance after doing input shaper, essentially. I was trying to figure out why that script didn't work, because that was the only hang up we've had tonight, was why that script didn't work, and why I had to get Eddie to do some math for me. Let's see, what are we at right now? Wow. Right now we are 13 people away from 5,000 subscribers. So if you are watching this stream right now and you are not subscribed, hit that button. The one who gets 5,000, whoever is subscriber 5,000, you don't get anything, because I don't know how to look up who subscribed in what order. But you might be. So you should do that. Print's done. Oop. Maker Viking donated knock 30 through Super Chat. Why did that not show up? I don't see it on my Super Chat. Oh, okay, wow, that was a delay of all delays. Somehow it showed up on through Streamlabs on-screen display before it showed up in YouTube. Wow, good job, YouTube. Thank you, man, appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream tonight. I think you just joined late, but everything's, you can watch it all later. Wow, that was a big delay. Good job, YouTube. Okay, so let's see. So we're gonna let that cool for a minute so I don't accidentally destroy it. Oh, Matt Weber just subscribed. So that's what, 11 more? By the way, I have no idea if like this stream actually gets out to people who aren't. I'm assuming it gets out to people who aren't subscribers, because people are subscribing during the stream. So let's open it up. I love the smell of ABS. Honestly, I've been painting all day. Well, actually not all day, but I painted for like an hour or 2 hours before lunch or dinner, and then in here. So I miss the smell of ABS because I can't stand the smell of paint. Like, I'm around ABS all day at work, so this is nothing to me. But paint fumes just drive me insane. Kroner. I knew it was Kroner. I knew it was like Norwegian or Swedish or whatever, but it's just funner to say knock. Like the guy who donated Pokemon money last week. That was awesome. Okay, the bed's hot, so I'm going to let that cool for a minute. Terry Lyles just subscribed. Welcome, Terry. Okay, let's see here. Printers. So if you're interested, there's the overhead view. So you can see like this little triangle turned out like pretty poopy because that's where the start stop position was, but this one came out pretty crisp. Well, thank you, Maker Viking. Let that Actually, it'll cool quicker outside the printer. There we go. Not even bad. I do have a little bit of acceleration on my x-axis, though. Looks like. Unless I got them backwards, because aren't you? Shoot. Aren't you supposed to have your acceleration swapped? Your X and Y? I don't know. Your input shaper swapped. Cool down. This is how you cool prints down, by the way. That's the good thing about a flex plate. It loses its heat real quick. So if you don't care about accidentally like delaminating parts or whatever, just pull it out and flop it around for a bit. Make bacon on the bread, or on the bed. Okay. And the joys of Pokemon money, a catching mon. No, Japanese yen, but as a kid, like you play Pokemon, the symbol in Pokemon for money is the yen symbol, but it's like Pokemon money. Okay, flex plate. I love flex plates. I don't know where my spatula is. There it is. Oh yeah, that first layer was a little close. Now I'm that off. Okay. So we definitely do have some defects once we started getting up to the 100 millimeters or 200 millimeters a second ABS, but so we do have a tad of ringing still. But to see the ringing, you legit have to have the light at the perfect angle. So you can see, wow, you can see the line right there. That's where I increased the speed. So you can see we still have a little bit of ringing. But this is literally light coming on an angle right here. So that is the y-axis. And here is X. So yeah, you can still see we still have some ringing on this. That ain't bad, honestly. But yeah, that was 200 millimeters a second. You can see where the color changes. That's where we went up to 200 millimeters a second. So you can see we had, you know, you're obviously going to lose detail, especially in ABS with no cooling at 200 millimeters a second. But yeah. And this is gray, so you're going to see the ringing a lot more on here. But still, you really have to have the light. Like, if you're looking straight on it, with straight on light, you do not see the ringing at all. That ain't bad. And that's at 7,000 Excel, so if I drop it down to 5,000, it's probably just fine. What temperature you use on the bed? How do you hold the flex plates to the heated bed? Here, magnetic stickers can't work over 80°C. So, the bed for ABS, I print at 105 for the first layer, and then I drop it down to 90 to 95, depending on the plastic. Usually 95 in this case for eSun. And there is a magnet on the bed. It's held on with 468 MP adhesive, which is the same thing you use for holding your heater to the bed. And that's good to 120°C sustained, or 110°C sustained, I can't remember, but hot, sustained temperatures. And then the magnet itself, you can get magnets that are rated for ABS temperature. So this whole thing is energetic. So you can buy these off AliExpress. Alta Stick and Wham Bam and all that stuff you can't get up here in Canada. But I haven't had any issues. I've been using this kit that came with the magnet and all the adhesive and everything to put it all together, and the flex plate for about a year now, and it still holds fine. Like, I've never had the plate curl up on me. The magnet's still firmly attached to the bed. So yeah, it's been working fine. So yeah, not too shabby. You know what's funny? Actually, once I bump the speed up from 100 to 200 millimeters a second, I go from having the faintest hint of ringing to no ringing. Like, yeah, you can see the ringing there, but as soon as I go up to 200 millimeters a second, no ringing. So there you go. You just got to print at 200 millimeters a second, and you don't got to deal with ringing issues. What's the name of the screen? This is a panel do. It's a duet display. It's meant for duet and RepRap firmware. However, you can use it with Clipper. This machine has a duet and it originally ran RepRap firmware. I've converted it to Clipper, and the screen is supported by Clipper as well. You have to plug it into the Raspberry Pi though. There was a little close. Oh, well. I'll put that all off later. So I think that's it for the stream today. So again, tonight was playing around with an accelerometer and acceleration. Oh, for the inside. So this is the x-axis on the inside. And again, you can see the color change from 100 to 200 millimeters a second. And then on the Y, you can see we did have some issues there, but again, 200 millimeters a second ABS with no cooling. So, and as for delamination, like there's no delamination. This is a solid part. Like, I'm having no delamination issues here, so. Solid, you know it's hollow. Okay, so yeah, so I think that's gonna be it for the stream tonight. As always, my 3-hour stream went long, so we'll call it there. We might be in here next week. We might be in the new room. Depends on how much free time I get this week, which I only get like an hour a day. Yay, children. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it entertaining and educational. You know, we had a little bit of a hang up there. The only issue that we really had was trying to figure out why the script that's supposed to take all the values that we learned from the accelerometer and put them into a nice fancy picture decided not to do that for some reason. Eddie's probably going to look into that and try and figure out what the hell went on there. But anyways, if you want to do this, I'll link the guide itself here. There you go. So if you want to do this at home, there you go. You need an 80XL 345 accelerometer and some wires. You plug them into your Raspberry Pi. So for anyone who donated during the stream, thank you for donation. Anyone who became a member, thank you. If you also want to support, I do have a Patreon, links below. If you want to buy something from Matter Hackers, I get a little kickback there, link below, as well as Banggood, I believe, too. Everyone else, I hope you also had a great stream as well. Hope you're entertained. You learned something. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. Have a good day.